Must Love Yarn podcast.
We're back.
We're back.
In 2 weeks, as promised.
Our normal schedule.
For at least 3 weeks now. It's been normal. Right. Maybe 3 episodes, so maybe 6 weeks.
That's pretty impressive for us.
It is, although I think there was some cheating in there somewhere, but yes.
There was a recording on a day that we normally don't record to make things happen.
But here we are on a day we normally record on.
It's Monday. It's a lot earlier than normal.
Right, so maybe there'll be no light shenanigans today.
Probably not. Or if it does, it won't matter because it's really...
Angela's son is here. We'll make him jump up and down in the background there.
Right. So you may hear some ambient noise in the back. It's not people shopping. It's just my kid.
Because it's a holiday.
Yes.
It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Yep. No school today. No work today.
Yeah.
For me.
Nope. Not for me either.
Yeah. Yep.
Although it's only our second year, I think, having this as a holiday, which is... And at first I was like... Well, I mean, obviously, I think it's important to remember and pay attention to the holiday, but just in terms of overall timing of holidays during the year, I was like, what? Like 2 weeks after Christmas, we're having another holiday. Plus, we had January started late because we had the extra day. I don't know, anyway. But it was fine, and all of a sudden, I was like, no, it's really good.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I would rather have it be that we would have President's Day off because I just feel like mid-February is a nice break between, but this February I have a lot going on in February. So
we get that when it's the start of our February break for our school district.
Yes.
So President's Day in February.
I will be going on vacation that week. So
nice.
Yes.
So we're here.
Here we are. Sorry. Off we go.
On this really cold, sort of blustery Monday.
Mm-hmm. Gray, a little bit gray here.
Yeah. And so we are bringing this to you from our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont, where we sell most of the things that we will show and talk about today at our bricks and mortar store, but we also have an online store, and I see that more and more of our things are going up online, like our consignment and our farm yarns and things that for a long time have only been available in store. So that's pretty cool. Yeah,
the consignment piece is a little tricky because we have to get permission from the vendors.
Yeah.
And some of them have their own Etsy stores. So anyway, it's sometimes a little messy, but.
Yep.
Totally.
So we like to start. Oh wait, I don't even know.
Hello, my name is.
I don't even know where we are. You can find the store on social media.
Because I distracted you
as
usual.
Must Love Yarn. And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Ravelry as J Arbuckle and on Instagram as Jennifer_Arbuckle.
And now we like to start our podcast with our podcast pick.
Oh, I was like, what exciting thing are we doing next?
What are we doing today? Podcast pick. So
that's right.
The way this works is we're going to show you some yarn, and for the next 2 weeks from when the podcast airs, so it'll be this Friday the 20th through first week in February.
Pull up a calendar right here on our handy dandy little it would be February 3rd.
So February 3rd, you will get 10% off in our online store or in store, but you have to use the coupon code that we're going to give you once we talk about
once we make it up.
Yes, once we decide
right here live in front of you.
Yeah.
And also once we tell you what it is.
Right. So this is a new to us yarn?
We've had it for a little bit of time now. Patagonia, Juniper Moon Farm Patagonia Organic Merino.
Yep.
It's 100% wool, perhaps obviously. 100 grams, 382 yards, so it's DK weight.
DK weight. Yep.
We have it in a tremendous number of colors.
And it's got a pretty fabulous price point on it at $14.99.
Yeah, it's a really lovely soft yarn, and we just got completely restocked, so we have quite a bit.
And this
many
is
sweater
really
quantities.
Dark charcoal gray.
Yeah, nice purple. You can't really see against my purple sweater, but purplish sweater. But yeah, so some great colors, and it knits up beautifully. In fact, our little mannequin here is wearing a sweater made out of it. The Goldwing by Jennifer Steingass, which you have seen before many times in a slightly different configuration on my own body, since I wear it quite a bit.
Yes.
With my cobbled together yarn choices.
Yeah, so you can see just the color work that you can do with this yarn is amazing.
Yeah, especially with the DK weight, because the one that I have is a much heavier that I made. I made it in a worsted weight, Aran weight sweater, so it's the color work is different.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really fine and beautiful. The stitch definition is really nice.
Yeah. So I think if we use PP Patagonia,
sure,
for a coupon code.
It only works at Must Love Yarn. It doesn't actually work at Patagonia. I'm sorry.
I know, right? And just as a reminder, the way our system is, if you're paying with PayPal, you have to go out to PayPal and come back, and there'll be a place for the coupon code. If you're doing just the checkout where you're going to enter the credit card, there should be a coupon code right there. So it's a little different depending on which way you're paying on the online store.
PayPal does that for a lot of stuff, though, actually, so it shouldn't be too unusual.
So PP Patagonia.
So there are 3 P's, actually.
3
PP Patagonia.
For 10% off this gorgeous yarn for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. If you're starting to think about, a wool sweater and maybe an heirloom wool sweater, not because of price, but just because of quality. The yarn is really beautiful. Yeah. And it has a little bit of it looks a little rustic, but it does not. It super
doesn't feel
soft.
So soft.
It's hard to even be convincing because it has that sort of heathered effect to it that makes it look a little bit, most of it, even the charcoal has some heathering in it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
You can see some of the blends, but yeah, anyway, can't say enough good things about it. It's really beautiful.
Yep. So what are you wearing today?
I am wearing my Magnolia sweater, which people may remember, and I made this at a slightly larger gauge, and it fit when it was done, but it stretched out a little bit before I washed it the first time, and I was like, I don't really want it to be stretchy like that, and it's super wash with mohair, and so I decided I was gonna, for its first washing, I was just gonna be crazy and put it in the washing machine on the hot-cold cycle to see if I could not felt it, but full it a little bit, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So it's not quite as, doesn't have quite the same halo, but it's pretty good actually still. It still looks, if you hadn't seen it before it got washed the first time, but mohair always settles down a little bit. Yeah. So I think what's interesting is the mohair felted, but the superwash blue did not, which is I think why, but it fits me exactly the way I wanted it to fit now. Nice. So it's a little bit smaller, and it fits sort of perfectly. It's not quite as droopy as it was, which is great. Nice. And at the same time, I was telling Ange this before, a few years ago I knit like a big oversized sweater out of Alafas Lopi and mohair held together, and it was meant to be a big, like, super oversized sweater, but I felt like it was just swimming on me, like it was falling off on the shoulders, and the sleeves were 3 inches too long, and it was just crazy. I should have realized that it was, going to be too big when I was making it. But anyway, so at the same time that I did this, I washed that one as well, same exact thing. And that one, it has a little bit of texture detail on the bottom of it. And I thought, well, I might lose some of the texture. But it did lose a little bit. That one I'm probably going to throw in one more time, and because that one really needs, because the alternative is I take it all apart and reknit it, and honestly, for what I want that sweater for, which is kind of an outdoor kind of sweater, it needs to. Right. I'm happy for it to be a little bit heftier. So anyway, so my experiment worked, which is exciting.
Awesome.
Because we all know how badly that can go wrong.
It can go very wrong.
I did it on the quick cycle of my front-loading washing machine with just regular soap and whatever. And did I put soap in? I don't really remember now. But the 2 sweaters and a pair of jeans, and hot and then cold. And then I took it out to see what it looked like. And then I laid them flat to dry. I didn't even pin them. It was good. So nice. It could be different in your house. feel like I have
Proceed
to be
with
very,
caution.
very clear about that.
Proceed. Your results may vary.
Right. I was like, what is that phrase that I cannot remember? Right.
Results
Exactly.
may vary.
Right. And what do you have?
I'm wearing Spark. I think this is Spark. Spark? Yeah.
That's what I was guessing
Spark.
that it was.
Yeah. I didn't look it up. Because it's cold out, and this is the perfect cardigan for how cold it is outside. So
yeah, it's definitely you want to wear wool today.
yeah, it's that day.
Yeah. Yeah, and that big sweater that I was just talking about, I've been wearing like for the last, I come home from work and I change into sweatpants and that big heavy sweater over a t-shirt. I'm very happy.
Yes, completely.
Yes.
Really. Do you have any finished objects?
No. Finishing things is not in my wheelhouse. Starting things, working on them.
I mean, you know,
I'm a process.
I have one finished object and then one that's pretty close where the knitting's done.
Yes, but
there's some assembly that
Have you
needs
bought
to
your
happen.
kit yet?
No.
Well, do your finished one first and then...
Yeah. So I was really close to having this done last time, but
That's awesome.
if you remember, I ran out of this white.
The emergency yarn arrived.
The emergency yarn. It arrived. So I still have a stitch mark. Clearly have not blocked it because I still have a little marker in it. And I was able to finish it, and I'm pretty sure I have enough yarn to do like mitts of some sort.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
No, I have extra, but this
Today's
is just
the day to be wearing that hat. Yeah.
so warm.
It's great.
Very tall. Usually I have row gauge issues where like my stuff is too short. This one, not so much.
Yeah.
But I think it's very thick, very warm.
Yeah.
Perfect for like these kind of days.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be outside, my hair is all like static. Just went
Because
from
it's January.
normal to static. So that's the Celtic Cables beanie.
It's pretty.
Fun little colorwork hat.
And you had Wing and a Prayer Farm, and what
So
were they
the-
both?
So the white is Wing and a Prayer Farm, and the colored, this is actually some hand spun of Kelly's.
Oh, that's right. Right.
Yeah,
right.
from
Fernbridge.
Fernbridge Farm. Some of her hand spun. So
That's a nice collaboration. Lots of collaboration in real
know,
life,
right?
and also some collaborating yarn.
Yeah.
It's fun.
so super good, super fun hat. So happy that I was able to finish it and didn't have to go to Plan B, which is just to knit the top part in the hand spun, and it would have
White.
looked weird.
Oh no, right? Because the white was what
The
you were
white was
missing.
what I was running
Yeah.
out of. So,
Yeah.
but that really just staticked my whole hair right up, didn't it? Awesome.
We can take a pause if you want to go.
No, it's okay.
Put it down in the bathroom, which is my solution.
It's fine. So you got your yoke clock.
I have it.
It's going.
I'm like 3/4 of the way done. So right, so that's the pattern. Super fun. There are 3 different Farrell patterns inside, and then I sort of took one of them and amalgamated it. And funny thing, it does not look like those colors, even though that was the original intention, was to use 3 colors instead of 2. But I had all these little balls, and when I was trying to decide which ones to use. And when I had them there, I just liked all the colors enough that I wanted to use all of them. And so that's it in terms of the number of colors that there'll be. And so I have it set up so that the last few color work rounds will be the yellow. This is kind of the color of my living room walls, actually. So, but the flower pods or whatever they are, pine cones or whatever they are, flowers,
Nice.
I think. Thistles is what I keep thinking of them as.
Yeah.
They'll finish out in the dark blue, and then they'll have like yellow tips. And then if it's not big enough, because I'm not sure about that, mine definitely needs to be block, because I did it on those double points for a long time.
Yeah.
I just barely switched to the bigger needles. And then this morning, while I was looking for something else, I found a 16-inch needle, which would have been handy halfway through.
Right.
Also, it's all scraps. Like this is some like acrylic-y wool. I don't know. My grandmother had this yarn. It's been in my stash forever. And the rest of them are all like little Shetland wool chunks that I had from, I think from that kit that I did, the Romy Hill kit. Anyway, so I'm pretty excited. I like the colors a lot. I'm happy.
Nice.
So it's funny because I think, are they the same pattern? I think you did the actual pattern.
I did the actual pattern.
And I changed it a little bit. I just made these more like little flowers instead of like leaves.
This part's different.
Yours is different because I finished the...
You did some other stuff.
I finished them instead of... Yeah. Plus I have all the different weird colors in there. That's really pretty.
It's mine.
Yeah.
It probably needs to be blocked. It's very...
Although once they stretch out on top of their
pointy.
surface. Yeah, I'm not sure about this.
Very pointy.
Right.
But yes, it will stretch. I was like, there's no way this is going to fit on like a 12-inch.
I know. I keep stretching mine out. Once it's off the needles, it'll be easier to stretch it. See it stretched out.
I think it will.
Those are pretty colors.
Thank you. So it's just some leftovers of different things.
I like the inside almost as much.
I did, like as you can see, ran out of the teal and had to switch over to a different color, which is actually fine because the teal is a single. And so I was worried if I was trying to tighten it on the back that it might break. So this is applied one that I attached on. But yeah, it's on the back, so it doesn't really matter.
So you used up some scraps. That was exciting.
I did use up scraps.
Now, was this the one that you had actually started ahead of time or no?
No, this is
you gave up on that one.
I gave up on that one.
So I will say this for those of you that are excited but have not started yet.
It's super fiddly, like the first.
This bit right here, I would just say until you get like to here, somewhere in here is where it starts to be like, oh, okay. You just need to
take a deep breath.
Just be like, I need a patient kind of knitting project.
Yeah.
And just, surround yourself with like pillows, make yourself very comfortable. I actually have like a lap desk that I put down because
don't do it when you have tired eyes.
No, I did it on a Saturday morning actually. When did I start? Well, when I posted, so 2 weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago I started it, and then I've been sort of obsessively working on it almost every night because I just want to see all the colors come out. And so and then I would also say that so it's very handy to do it on double points. Well, I did this part on magic loop. I actually gave up. I did the beginning on magic loop because I just could not deal with the double points at the beginning. And then once I got like the circle part made, I think I went back to the double points, and then it was good because for this pattern in particular, there's sort of quadrants, and so you have one quadrant on each of the 4 needles, which was handy.
That was handy, and even after I switched to circular, I had stitch markers at each quadrant, so I did them so I could stop. I have like a big stitch marker on the quadrant. Well, it's hard to see. And then a little one, I use these little jump rings a lot for these kind of things. And so there's these, you probably can't even see them, on the in-between parts. So pretty too.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Yours is nicer than mine because mine is all stripes instead. But yeah. Anyway, it was fun. It's kind of fun. Once you get out like a couple inches into it, then it's pretty obsessive, I found. Yeah. It was fun to knit. And even the increases... At first I was like, why is she increasing this way? And then I was like, oh, because it's so much easier. Yeah. It's not an increase that you would normally use because it's tight, a little bit tight, but it actually was really easy, especially if you're holding your 2 colors, one in each hand. Yeah. So follow the pattern. Follow the pattern. I mean, you can make your own color, obviously, and mess with that because the pattern comes with a blank slate. So I just took the blank slate and drew on it. And as you can see, I said I was going to use like 3 or 4 colors, and I used 6. But that's the way it goes. So
maybe planning another 1 or 2.
I know. So I was like, these are kind of like maybe would be a fun gift. And it is pretty quick, like I did. And I have not been knitting. Not every night this last couple weeks. A couple nights where I did nothing. And I think I started it after the last podcast, right? We talked about it on Thursday because we podcast on Thursday, and I think I started that Saturday.
I started mine after I saw your Instagram post. I was like, oh, I should probably get on that.
And of course, she's ahead of me because that's how this works. But I did do some other knitting in between. For a while, I was working on the So If We're in Webs. I had decided I was going to make my friend Michael a hat out of the Hefty farm yarn here. And remember, I talked about it. I was going to do the antler toque. Mm-hmm. It was just so stiff that I decided not to. And I may actually take this out and just do a simple rib hat for him. Because I got to a point where I stopped doing the cables and I was just doing rib anyway. And then I don't know, I put it down because I picked up the clock instead. And I've been much more interested in the clock.
Clock was fun.
Yes. But in the meantime, I also did, it's all whips. I have millions of them.
That's fine.
And these are just the ones that are here. There's not much to show, but I did want to at least prove to you that both sleeves are on the needles. There's one needle, there's another. And I'm sort of knitting them, a row or two. It's kind of annoying, actually, because I do want the colors to be pretty close together. But since you're using 2 colors on every row, and I'm only switching the colors every other row, I have to knit like a row and a half before I can, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's fine, but it's not quite what I had envisioned, and it does. But now that it's, I've got like half an inch or an inch on each sleeve, it'll be easier getting around the part where it's still trying to like pull itself off. And
is it snowing outside?
Perhaps just a little. So for those of you that are new and have not heard the 4,000 things, that's the sea glass tee that I started 3.5 years ago, and will not be a tee, but will be like a regular sweater with at least 3/4 length sleeves probably, unless I start to run out of yarn.
And it'll be finished at some point.
My goal is February. But now I have the clock will be quick.
Now you're getting distracted.
Well, this morning, this was my other, I'm gonna learn something new. And while I was, how it is when someone's working in your house, they're making noise and they are asking you questions and you're trying to do something simple, but not. Anyway, I did some bathroom planning and then I was just knitting for a few minutes. And so I started a pair of socks, 2 at a time, toe up.
Wait, who are you? And what have you done with Jen?
I know. Remember that book that I brought in a couple weeks ago?
I know.
I'm using my things. That's what I'm doing. And these are my bed slippers, or I don't know what else to call it, my bed socks to wear at night when my feet are cold. So I am actually knitting them out of Let Lopi that I had lying around, probably from those mittens I made a couple years ago for the Seasons of Vermont box. And so I'm knitting, these are my Learn to Do This, but also because she has you do a sample on worsted weight in the book to learn. So I was like, perfect.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm knitting them on a size 8 so that they're loose. I don't want tights. I just want them to be loose. So anyway, so look what I did in one morning. Pretty exciting. Amazing. Cast them on, and I'm done with the increases. So now I'm just about to, so the toes are done. Now I'm just doing the feet. And these are going to be ankle socks.
Like house slipper kind of things?
Yeah. Just little ankle socks, and probably just to wear in bed because I will fall on my head if I try to wear these on my hardwood floors. Right. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about those. I think I can finish those before the next podcast. But
it's awesome.
I don't know if I can do them and the clock and the sleeves. But anyway, so that was my
life goals, Jen.
That's right. Oh, and a job.
A job.
Run this place.
Right. A job thing.
How many jobs?
Yeah, right.
Really should one have? You must have. I know you have some nice webs over there. So.
I've won.
Yeah. But look how much you did.
I know. So I cast on a sweater.
And you got into it.
I got into it.
Is this bottom up?
No, it's top down.
Oh, okay.
So I go back and
do the neck.
Pick up the neck, do the neck. So this is cyan.
It's pretty.
And this is in some of Kelly's yarn.
It's beautiful.
We'll see. So I'm using worsted weight yarn on a DK weight sweater. So what could possibly go wrong? Except sizing.
But you knit.
I knit tight.
Yeah.
So I went up a needle size and kind of down a sweater size. So
up a needle size and down a sweater size. Yeah.
I like the fabric I'm getting. So
yeah, no, it feels nice.
So that's fine.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it to be any tighter than that.
Nope.
I don't think.
It's just a question of sizing, though. I think it'll be okay.
It does look big.
It does, but it's supposed to be oversized.
Yeah, so it depends on, like, this neck on this sweater actually bugs me a little bit because it's a little wide.
Yeah.
A lot of sweaters these days have these wide necks, and I don't, like, I want
and
them to be, like, whatever, loose. So the thing is that you're going to go back and do the neck. So you can...
I can cinch it in.
You can do what you need to do. Yeah.
And I'll be able to try it on. So I'm
like
almost...
Tin Can Knits, like on her Love Note and everyone else, that's how she does all of her sweaters, I think. So you can adjust.
Yeah. I'm almost to dividing for the sleeves.
Yeah, then it would be easier to try it.
Yeah, I'd be able to fit it. And, you know, it's hard to tell when it's on the needles. And I feel like a lot of times sweaters are too small through the shoulders.
Yes, I have shoulders and I need space for
like
them.
this one is definitely, if I knit this again, I would knit a different size because I actually have arms and shoulders. So we'll see.
Well, plus you could, is it color work all over?
No, it's the color work
yoke?
stops after the yoke.
So I feel like always at that point, unless it's like 14 inches too wide, you can really control everything. You can control your sleeve width, you can control your body width, because you can pull it in if you need to. You can... Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So it's going.
And it's boxy, you said anyway, right?
It's supposed to be oversized.
Yeah.
A little oversized.
And then is it brown all the way down or cream?
Or so it's brown, but then there's a little bit of color work at the bottom. And then on the cuffs, if you want, I was just going to wait and gauge to see how much of the cream I had left.
I couldn't remember what you had planned for which was going to be predominant color.
The dark brown.
Yeah.
It's
a really nice brown, that dark brown.
Gorgeous brown. Yeah.
It reminds me of the dark brown yarn that I bought from Tammy last February or last December that I was going to make a sweater out of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still might.
No.
Didn't mind.
And, you know, because here I am talking about picking up some yarn to knit another sweater. Never mind, like, the 3 sweaters quantity of yarn that I picked up at Rhinebeck. Maybe I should go knit one of those instead of buying more yarn.
I have to finish some things.
So, you know.
January whip along. I know I started a few things, but I'm going to finish some things also. And, yeah. It's only 2 weeks left.
Yeah. I did finish that cowl. I can't remember. The law finish cowl. Yeah. I can't remember if it was finished or if I just had like a little.
I think you were like just starting the top ribbing, I think. I feel like maybe.
Yeah. I did finish that. It just needs to be blocked.
Yeah. Good.
I didn't bring it, clearly. Because I couldn't remember.
Right, when I was pawing through, my coffee table stayed nice and neat and unoccupied by knitting projects for about a week after Christmas, after New Year's maybe. Yeah. And so as I was pawing through the pile this morning, which does seem to have a lot of clock patterns on it, in fairness. So when the clock is complete, we'll see. But yeah, maybe it'll clean up a little bit. Yeah.
I know.
So but you're contemplating that sweater.
I am. So I don't know if you guys have seen the Shifty cardigan that got released last week, I think. So it's, you know, it's the cardigan cousin to Shifty, which was just a pullover sweater by Andrea Mowry. And I pulled out some feeder book because I have like random feeder book like laying around. These might be the same colorway. I can't actually tell.
Look like it to
they
me.
Look like they maybe are. I don't know.
At Rhinebeck, they don't often label.
No, they're not labeled.
So you just sort of like, okay.
I think it was a part of the yarn that I got to make a Shifty, but I've used the other yarn for other things. And so these are the only 2 that are left.
How much do you need? 3?
You need 3 and then a solid color. So I was looking at this one. I don't know. Not really feeling. I don't know.
Maybe we'll look afterwards because it feels like you might need like a color, like something, you know, I don't know, something that, not these, but like something that, you know.
Oh, for the solid color?
No, well that I guess too, but also just for the third, unless you're trying to get something that's consistent.
No, I would do, I mean, I think you could, like any of the Shifties, you can be creative with it. And I bought Feederbrook this year. But
this is not from this year?
No, this was from like last year, the year before, or before COVID. I can't remember. The colors, I actually bought 3 skeins of their solids.
Oh.
And then 2...
Illuminate, is that what you were thinking? Another one of those?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to do.
I do feel like you had a plan.
I think I did, but now I can't remember what it is because I didn't write it down. So I bought 3 different colors of the solids and 2 of these kinds.
3 different colors.
Yeah, 3 different colors, not the same color. So, which makes me think, what were you doing with this?
A bunch of hats?
I might, and maybe, because the 2 skeins coordinate with the solid colors, but it's not this palette. It's like a blue, orange, gray palette. I don't know what was happening. I don't know. So, might just have to sit on that for now. Come back to it later. Because like I said, I have like 3 or more sweater quantities of yarn that I just picked up at Rhinebeck, never mind what's already in my stash.
Well, interestingly enough, so when I went looking for my, whatever, scraps to knit these test socks or whatever, and I do have to say, having started those, I think that, like, they're progressing at the same rate. Like, to me, it's like a no-brainer. Why would you knit socks any other way? That's my new theory. But my whole bugaboo was, we'll see how it feels when I go through the heel part of it, but my whole question was, like, I don't even, like, how can you, and you've got 2 socks, so you've got 2 balls of yarn that you're dealing with. I guess if you were knitting, like, matchy socks, and you could do 1 from each. And
like some of the self-striping skeins, some of the people break them apart so they come into identical
skeins.
But
I was just trying to decide whether you could somehow do this with just 1 ball of yarn that you're pulling from 2 different sides from. I think you could.
Maybe it would probably be tangle.
I think you could, because they get tangled a little bit now. Anyway, I went looking for, when I went to get my Christmas tree, they have sheep now that eat the meadows under the Christmas trees, and they have wool from their flock that they've made into yarn. So, of course, being me, I bought a skein of cream-colored natural yarn, because why not? Because it was there next to the Christmas tree stand, and I was in the Christmas spirit. And I, in my brain, had thought, I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but it's a neutral color. And then when I got home, and I think when my feet got cold, and I was like, oh, I need some bed socks, I was like, oh, I'll use that. Can I find that? No. So that's why, anyway. So I understand why you have 5 skeins that may or may not match each other.
I feel like there should be a third. I was trying to remember what I used that yarn for.
Plus it was 2 years ago. Right, who can remember 2 years ago? You can barely remember Lent.
So I know I picked up 5. So I had started with 5 skeins that like all coordinated together because there was some sense that I couldn't read the pattern for Shifty, and I thought that was going to work for the sweater. But that's not how Shifty's written. But anyway, that's a whole separate issue. I know I used 1 skein for
Campfire,
that cardigan.
Campsider.
Not Campsider. The maybe what the pink and gray one. So that's 1 skein.
It's not Campsider, but that's what's in my brain. Fire pit. I don't remember what it's called. Isn't it some outdoorsy name?
I can't. I can't remember.
I've now ruined it for you. So you're never going to remember it now.
So I used 1 skein for that.
And then you did the dot one, the one with the dots.
Yes. Danny.
Yes.
And so that used
2, 3.
2. Okay, so maybe that is correct that I only have 2 left because that used 2. And then so my math is working. That's maybe all that's left.
I bought mine for Shifty, and I'm using it for even fall.
Yeah, that's like what? Anyway.
Which is fine. That is high on my list of sweaters to pull back out again.
I mean, the other thing I could do is I've been wanting to make another stripes.
Yeah.
Cardigan. It's a pullover because the one I knit is actually here at the store, so I get to wear it. But I could use this with like a solid color to do it and just stripe it like I did the other one. So I might do that too. Like, I
Whether
don't
there's
know.
enough.
Well, these two, yes.
There would be.
Yeah. With a solid color. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it would definitely be enough. So I might do that. I might do that too. I don't like that green.
Me neither.
Like,
It's like
maybe
swamp
the
green.
purple.
Sorry.
The purple or the charcoal. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Purple would be nice.
What would be good? Charcoal. Just depends on what the look is that I want to go with.
That's too.
But
it's a nice cream color.
Yeah,
White
I
is
mean
nice.
that would be good too, but that's really close to like Danny.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
I don't know.
digress.
We digress. So this may not become a Shifty. It may be something else, just because.
What about the ones you bought this year?
I only have two.
Oh,
I only have two of this
Entropy.
kind, the Entropy.
okay.
Because I was looking at those this morning.
I probably have some you could select from.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
There might actually be a skein of this Chopal that will match the two Entropy skeins.
We don't have very much of that at all. Someone actually was asking yesterday whether we had Ball fingerings anymore, and I was like, no, we don't. So I was going to ask Ariana about that. So I feel like we had a conversation about that.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to get for a long time, but I do think it was popular. So
yeah.
Sidebar. Yeah.
Should bring it back in.
Right. So very quickly,
yes. New in the shop, brand new in.
Yeah. We've had the fingering weight. Oops, sorry. Here.
It's okay.
The fingering weight for a long time, or at least for a while anyway. And so now we have DK weight.
These are DK weight.
And these Huasco.
Kettle dyed. So it's a merino nylon 75-25 blend.
Beautiful.
It's 293 yards per 100 grams.
And it is superwash merino.
Superwash merino.
So it's super soft.
Yep.
And it's, you said 75-25.
Yep.
And the 25% is recycled, so.
Yep. And it retails for
good-
$24.99.
Good sustainability story.
You could use these for socks because they do have nylon in them. If you wanted thicker socks.
Yeah. For all those DK socks
Right.
folks out there.
Right. Or, for whatever awesome bright colors.
Yeah. And a couple neutrals.
Yeah.
The cream and.
Yep.
I feel like there was that's what we had over there. I like those blues and greens actually.
Yeah.
Too.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think most of the other new stuff we've talked about, and we have a bunch of stuff on order. So
that's coming. The spring yarns are going to start rolling in here pretty soon, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
It's that time already.
Right, exactly. People are actually, yesterday they were looking for cotton for spring. Well, we had like a huge mixture. We had people still buying a lot of wool. We definitely had people buying cotton.
Yeah. Both
things. Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
All right, so I can see the clock ticking away here.
Yeah.
What else? So
we have a few knit-alongs. I think we were supposed to be drawing prizes for some knit-alongs today, which we've not done because it's that day today. So
it's a weird day. We're off our game because it's a weird time.
Because they're still open. It's for the Sparkle Along and then the Warmth with Yarn KAL. Those are the two that are still kind of running.
Is the Vermont?
Did
you close the seasons of Vermont one?
No, it stays open all the time. It's rolling.
Yep.
So we draw prize every time we release another box.
And we have actually, our yarn for our first box is on its way to us.
Yay!
As we speak.
That's exciting.
It was super fast, too,
That is
I will
fast.
say.
Wow.
Yeah, so Junction Fiber Mill is doing the yarn. So that's all we're going to say. More
Can't
to come.
Wait.
Yeah. Now we just need to design a pattern.
Just, small things. Little things.
Right.
Little details.
But it's exciting to have the yarn ahead of time. And it was a fun little collaboration of emails back and forth.
Nice.
And some pictures of tulips and some other things. So
Can't wait.
Color inspiration.
Can't wait. Be so fun.
Yeah.
And
Wing and a Prayer, February 11th.
Yes, they will be here. Little pop-up, rescheduled pop-up from our crazy December weather situation.
So if you like yarn better than chocolate,
come buy some Wing
or
and a Prayer.
roses. You can have the other two as well, but you could also have yarn.
From Wing and a Prayer.
Yes, and some nice smelling soaps, and who knows what else.
Tammy brings all kinds of fun stuff. So.
Yeah. So she'll be here 11 to 3 on that Saturday. Aunt and I will not be here.
We'll be in New York.
And we are still talking about a retreat. Yeah, I was thinking about that. We gotta.
Yeah. What we're running up against is the floodgates have opened for people trying to plan things that they haven't been able to for the last 2 years. So lots of places are booked. And our place that we had it at before isn't doing this kind of thing anymore. So we're really...
Demand is exceeding supply. Yeah. And therefore costs are up.
Yeah.
So
we're still trying to sort that. We'll see what we can track down and what we can figure out. So
yeah, exactly. I will say this too, for those, a lot of people come to our knit group, but our knit groups are hopping. Yeah. We have like 15 or 20 people here every Wednesday and every Sunday. It's pretty exciting. And lots of different ages and skills and all kinds of fun stuff.
This is so cool.
Yeah. So
super cool.
And I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but the one from Sunday, they have a special knit along they want to do. So they're going to send us the details and let us know.
Awesome. Right. That'll be fun.
Yep. Super fun. Yeah. So they're fledging. But no, it's super fun, and it's a nice group of people. So come and hang out if you don't already. Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know. I feel like
I feel like there's probably something else we forgot, but I don't have show notes, and it's just we're kind of again flying by the seat of our pants.
That's
it's like,
right.
Like twice in a row now.
I've got a clock to finish. Time is ticking away.
Time is ticking. Actually, you have till daylight savings till March.
Oh, is that what we said?
Yeah, to when the clocks.
Wow, look at that. I guess I can put that aside now.
Yeah.
Except for that I can't because I'm sort of addicted to it.
Yeah, because we thought that would be clever and funny to end the clock
that's
along.
Right. I forget my
daylight savings.
I forget the humor sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, the first part, as we said, is fiddly, but once you get through that, it's really fun. So
yeah, totally. So, well,
all right.
Thanks for coming and hanging out with us for a little bit.
Yes.
We'll hopefully see everybody in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So far, so good. We're off to a good start in the new year.
2 for 2.
That's right. It's all good.
Yay!
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
All right, folks. Have a good couple weeks, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Stir my coffee with my glasses. Or my tea because I'm so special.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
The purple one that I have to remake.
Your love note.
Oh, yeah. I made it in a different color, smaller size.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying that was one of your purple sweaters.
And the campsite, or not campsite, it was the Alicia Plummer one that I made where it's got like texture right up at the top and then it's just knit at the bottom. That one's purple. That's the one I almost wore today. And this one, which is purple-esque.
We would have been matchy-matchy.
I know, we are matchy-matchy.
That's true, we are.
Didn't even plan
January
it.
is purple month. And of course I'm exhausted looking because I stayed up really late watching the finale of the show that I binge watched all weekend because I don't know. I very seldom do that. But, and I'm not a big reality TV fan necessarily.
What show are you watching?
So it's done. I watched the whole thing. I stayed up till after midnight to watch the finale last night because it was all available.
Of which one?
Traitors.
Oh.
The Traitors is streaming on Peacock. It's really it's really good. Just if you need like 10 mindless episodes that are set at a Scottish castle with Alan Cummings as the host.
I'm gonna write
I
that
love
down.
him, and he just he wore plaid every day. Just awesome.
Okay, I may have to go.
Traitors as in
traitor, not traitors as in Trader Joe's.
No, the Traders. And it's apparently...
Traitors.
So it's like a locked house mystery kind of thing, basically. There's no... I don't think I give anything away by saying that essentially, I think there's 20 people they start with. And they had it was a collection of, like, you know, reality TV celebrities and, like, normal people. And the very first night in the castle, he secretly taps 3 people to be the traitors, and everyone else are the faithful. And every night the traitors murder somebody.
Oh.
And so the goal is, at the end of the day, if the traitors are still standing, they get all the money.
It's kind of like a live-action Clue.
Yes, exactly. It was awesome. If you like that kind of stuff, it was very atmospheric. The castle was beautiful. All the missions took place outdoors. It was great. And Alan Cummings, I mean, who can resist Alan Cummings? He's just, he's hilarious.
I'm in the market for something new because
it streamed. It released on Thursday the 12th. I was watching a Peacock movie last weekend for some reason, and or 2 weeks ago maybe, and I saw a clip for it, and I was like, huh, maybe. And then I saw, Peacock just like endlessly bombards you with information. But anyway, so during the week I was like, all right, fine. So watch the whole thing this week. That's why I'm tired today. Because very early, well, not early, but I thought maybe they would be. I had contractors coming to my house today, even though it's a holiday.
Lots of different trades and stuff are working.
Yeah,
today.
Exactly. In fact, I was like, well, we have it as a holiday. It's only our second year of doing it as a holiday. So
dentist appointment. So apparently my dentist office is open today.
Well, and I've got like 12 errands to run after this. They finally came to do another one of my many miscellaneous projects, which is the step in the kitchen, which I'm excited about.
Nice.
So, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, the cat is...
What is happening?
He's kind of okay. We had kind of a weird weekend where he didn't eat much. So he had dental cleaning, surgery. I don't even know, but it turned into surgery.
They have to take some teeth.
A week ago, yes. It turns out he had one whole dead tooth, which is kind of gross to think about.
But if he had bad breath, that's probably why he had bad breath.
I never really noticed it, but he always smells like cat food. So, I mean, when is it ever going to be good?
It's true.
And so, anyway, they ended up taking, I think, 2 or 3, including that one. I don't really remember. And he did really well, but then this weekend, it's been a week and a couple days. He just didn't eat all weekend, and I was like, what's going on? And but his mouth, he didn't, I don't know. It's not like I can look in there and see what's going on, so. Anyway, so he seems to be fine. I wonder if maybe the stitches popped out over the weekend. Maybe he was just sensitive. I don't know.
Not having it.
Also, he doesn't always eat every day.
Which is the exact opposite of my 2 cats.
Well, I mean, he was like, feed me, feed me, feed me. Oh, no, I don't really want that.
Oh. That's what you're going to give me? No.
Really? Are you sure there's nothing else?
Is that it? Is that my only
But when he
option?
didn't drink the tuna water yesterday, I got nervous. I was like, why is he not? But then last night he seemed fine. And he had eaten food when I came home.
Pets are so weird. Animals are weird.
I had decided, all right, fine, I'm going to call them on Monday morning, the vets, and, hope they're open. But then he seemed fine, so probably tomorrow he will not be. Because that's how this works. So annoying.
Yes.
But,
yes.
Yeah.
This probably is how this works.
Yeah.
So, yes. So my kids don't have school today, and because it's a holiday in the U.S. for lots of people, Martin Luther King Jr. observed. So most of the schools are closed today, I think. I would say all of them, but I feel like there's always like one weird one that's like, we're not closed.
Oh, there is actually. One of my employees, their kids are in, I think.
Okay. So my kids don't have school today, and then they have an in-service. Teachers have an in-service day tomorrow, so they have tomorrow off too. So it's just like, what is happening?
Great. Please do some work.
Yeah. But it's all right. It gives us a chance to like take care of things like going to dentist appointments today. Tomorrow we're doing kids' haircuts. Like, those things that are really hard.
I'm going to buy tile this afternoon for my bathroom remodel because that's next in my house.
Yay.
Very exciting.
That's fun.
It is, yes.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, we go into the dentist and then we got to get home because there's a basketball game. Like, it's like this weird, like, some stuff's happening, other things are not happening. basketball is a go. So,
God forbid the sports, be
right.
Derailed by
Right.
pesky holidays.
Anything.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah. Yes. It's true.
But yeah, so let's see what's happened the last couple of weeks.
I don't know. It seems like a lot, but it's also nothing.
Yeah, it's real cold right now.
Yeah, the temperature suddenly went
kind of normal.
We had
temperature.
one whole week of like rainy drizzle, which was unpleasant.
Yeah.
But warmer, like 30s.
Yeah.
But today it's like 12 or something.
Yeah, and it's windy, so it's kind of.
I felt bad. Those guys
rigid.
Are cutting things apart in my driveway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like, feel free to do that on the kitchen floor. I didn't clean this weekend on purpose.
Right.
I did take my tree down. That was exciting because there were, I thought for sure, given the amount of needles, which was a whole bag full on my living room floor, I thought for sure the water would be completely gone, but there was still it just was not thirsty anymore.
Not thirsty. We took ours down last weekend.
Mm-hmm. Most people did.
I keep torturing my family with this book that I stumbled across called How to Eat Your Christmas Tree.
Oh.
It's like a whole cookbook for how to utilize your whole Christmas tree as food. And so it just interests me. It's like,
pine cupcakes.
How... I mean, I could see.
I saved the needles for a while because they smell good.
Yeah, doing the needles. I could definitely see using the needles, but apparently you can also use like the bark and this, like all kinds of parts of the
so
tree.
for my compost pile.
So it's more. I would buy it because I'm just like, huh?
Yeah. No, like, I would want to know. Like, why not?
Why?
I don't like to throw things away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you found anything edible in there?
I haven't bought the book yet.
Oh.
I've been eyeballing it.
I was hoping you had it.
No, I know. I should buy it.
Inquiring minds, Ange. We all want to know.
No, I know. I should get it. And then my husband will be like, why did you buy this book? And I'll be like, because...
Next year we're eating our Christmas tree.
We're eating our Christmas tree, and the podcast people wanted to know.
It's a business expense.
I expensed it.
Right.
And our accountant will be like, what?
Right. This is why. Right. This explains a lot, is what he would say.
Yeah. So, yeah. What else has been going on? Just, I feel like lots of kid stuff. Basketball, gymnastics, like...
Yeah, it's January.
That kind of stuff.
I feel like I pulled myself out of my January slump a little earlier than I normally do, so that's exciting.
Birthdays. I have lots of January birthdays.
Yeah, that's tricky right after the holidays. Like you're sort of geared up. You feel like sending them all at once. Here, Christmas and birthdays. Just don't open this for a week.
I do that sometimes. I couldn't get my act together this year to do it.
Yeah.
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 But I guess I've continued on I've like high hopes of all of these new crafts that I'm gonna apparently do in 2023.
Did you make a list?
I haven't made a list, but I've been buying supplies. So
Or candle making on there?
Candle making is not on there.
It's kind of on mine. I saw something the other day where you cleaned out your, like, down to the bottom wax out of your leftover jars, and you filled them with some sort of thing on a wick, like like beads that melt or something.
Oh, that would be cool.
Know.
Yeah, there's
there's
you can get you can get all kinds of different little things. No, apparently some sort of like resin crafts. I don't know why I think that I need to do
that. Sounds messy.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
The candle thing sounds like manageable. Like you just melt the wax in some water, get rid of it, and you fill the new thing.
Soap making.
Yeah.
But not with the like live version of soap making. So like the
tallow,
the ones you just get and you just melt it and then do designs or add colors to it. Because
do you remember? I don't know. Maybe when you were little, this wasn't thing. I just remember my grandmother always had like these little like fancy soaps in her bathroom that were like these little like seashell or rosebud. I was just imagining you getting some molds and like making yourself. Well, and I was like, that doesn't really seem like Ange's style. So
I have molds.
Are they shaped like seashells or rosebuds?
I have snowflake ones, and I have some other ones.
Did you use those for candy making?
I got them originally for candy making.
I'm not sure you should.
No, I won't cross if I use them
for one or the other.
Yeah, if I use them for soap, then they won't.
Although if you clean them really well with the soap after you're done, I think
it's one or the other. So
it's all natural soap. It's all natural ingredients. It's not going to poison anybody.
That's true. But I won't. So
The candy will pop right out.
they have not been used for anything at this point, the molds.
I'm just imagining how much easier it could be.
Right? Right. Part of what sparked it is I'm always looking for things that now can I make for my kids' holiday bazaar that are, you know, fun and like little and, you know, I can sort of pick at manageable. And so like little like fun
that your little kiddos can help with.
Right. That kind of like soap thing seemed like, oh, maybe, but I want to get ingredients and try it out because sometimes things seem like
boiling hot something or other is not
right. Not super fiddly, but when you get down to it, they are really fiddly. And
or they don't come out.
Right.
So you have to then carve everything so there's not weird shapes in there.
Right. So the other thing...
Angela's gonna
I know, right?
A soap carving workshop.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow. No. Yeah. I mean, basically what it comes down to is I need to stay on Pinterest. Like, that's the root of all of my problems.
Yeah.
But I had somebody else email me who I know through other like business stuff and let me just pull it up. I told her I wanted it, so I'm getting it. What we do with it is we can figure it out
later.
I
like the word we. Is that like your family we or like we the store?
No, like we the store.
Oh, awesome.
Hang on, let me find which email it went to because that's always the tricky part.
It is tricky.
Where did it go?
That's why I don't archive anything because I can never find it again.
I can't find anything.
What does that even do?
Oh, so
where does it go?
She has a 16-inch wide Ashford rigid heddle loom.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, brand new. She's got an instruction book. It's like retailed for that. She's like, oh, I'll sell it to you for $50 if you want it, or give it away if you would use it at a kid's class. I'm like, I'll take it for $50. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll take it.
Right, exactly.
$50. Like, yeah, I'll take your Ashford rigid heddle loom. So apparently
normally sells for like $1,000 or whatever. 600, 500. I don't even know. A couple hundred.
Yeah, no.
16-inch, right? So it's a little.
Yeah, it's not super big.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was like, for $50.
Dishcloths.
Play around with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that I guess
the craft that could be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what I was expecting, but there's so many choices out there in
the
craft world.
So many choices.
I thought you were going to ask us to make enamel pin magnets is what I really thought when you brought that in.
Oh, no. I mean, we could.
No, we can't.
No, okay.
I have my limits. I'd rather order them.
No, I know. Yeah. Yeah, it was for show and tell only.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I feel like there's like something that I was going to talk about on this thing, but I can't even remember what I did last weekend, let alone what it might have been. So I don't know. Work has been busy and I'm focused on my bathroom remodel because now that I might have nailed him down to a date.
There we go.
The key is to cut him to come and do the demo because then he feels bad and he has to finish it. That's my new approach.
It's
only been 8 months since we started having this conversation for those people that are not remembering this.
I took a seaming class with Patty Lyons.
Oh, yeah? How was that?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I've been doing everything wrong, which is why all my stuff looks like crap when I seam it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I took one at Vogue Knitting Live, the first Vogue Knitting Live I went to in like... Okay, so it must have been a long time ago. No, because my friend Michael still lived in Brooklyn because I stayed with him. So like in the 2000s maybe.
A long time ago.
Yeah. And I forget who taught it. It was some person, Nederlandi person. And it did make a difference.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, right.
You're
now
like,
this makes sense. Like, if you know how to sew, like you think you can figure it out. And of course,
kind of the same.
And you look at a diagram, but then you go off on your own.
Right.
And so when someone forces you to do it correctly, it does make a little bit of a difference. Mattress stitch is magical when it works perfectly.
It is magical, and having someone, being able to see somebody do it the way it's supposed to be done, was mind-blowing.
Yeah, the part that I never quite got to, because we sort of ran out of it in class, because he showed all these different things, was like joining something on an angle, or like some of the things where you're not matching like obvious knitting to obvious
Yeah,
knitting.
we
Those are a little tricky.
we went over that one.
He touched on it, but it was a long time ago, and I haven't really needed it since because
right.
I don't really
Do set-in sleeves or
not very often, occasionally, and usually it's like a little bit, and you just finagle it.
Right.
Using those sewing skills.
Right.
That we just discussed are not helpful when you're a knitter.
So that was fun. It kind of got
awesome.
me a little excited for the classes we're going to take at Vogue Knitting.
That's right, I have to do some sample knitting.
Because I have some like homework. I have a list. I have less homework than I think, which is good.
I forgot to look, so maybe I'll just make myself a small note in my reminders. BKL.
And of course, part of me is like, well, you don't have any classes till like Friday afternoon, and you're getting down there Thursday.
No, because we want to do fun stuff.
No, I know. I know.
And you think to yourself, swatch knitting, I'll just knit them on the plane.
How
can that be?
that
It's an
be?
hour. I mean, I should be able to get that done.
Right. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
I did that last time, and it was not helpful. Just for the record.
Yeah.
I'm reminding myself at 5 p.m. tonight. Sorry.
Here we go.
Right, we still have time anyway. What, 3 weeks?
Right,
4
but
weeks?
that's the death. That's
when nothing happens on time. We still have.
That's the death mode. Oh, I've got so much time, and then you're like, oh no, my class is tomorrow.
And they're like, knit it out of whatever, light colored, whatever weight yarn. And you're like, I've got 12 rolls of that or 12 skeins of that in my stash. And then you go looking and you're like,
you really don't, or you can't find
where
it,
is it? Or it's like not the right thing.
Not the right gauge. I did not actually. I sat and I listened to the class and watched the class. I didn't actually participate because I had not finished.
Right.
And so
she doesn't know. She can't see you.
Right. So that happened. But I also figured there's a lot of value in just in watching and just in being
Although
there.
I will say,
I know it's helpful to do. But
well, only because it is helpful to do, but also the first few times afterwards when I wanted to do I pulled them back out and I took them apart a little bit, and I was like, oh right, that's what it meant.
I have actually access to this video again, so I can go back and watch it over and over again. Yeah. And also some of the stuff is, I guess, in the knitting bag of tricks
probably
as well, which I also have. So I was like, oh, okay, this is good. And I just, where I was that day, it just,
you think to yourself,
instead of stressing out over the fact that I had not finished these swatches, I was like, I'm just gonna,
you think to yourself, the first weekend in January I'm gonna be so relaxed from the holidays. I'll have all kinds of time to get prepared ahead of time, because after the getting ready for Christmas, but then the week after you're like, but you were gone, and I'm sure.
Yeah, and there was others. I was working on other stuff, and then I forgot.
And then someone said, why don't you make a clock?
And then I forgot. I might have had other things. I had a thing I had to go to that Friday night before, and I think that in my head I was like, oh, I'll finish this Friday night, and then I didn't get home until like 10 o'clock, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not happening.
I'll get up early tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll just do it before the class, and then that. And anyway, so it just, I went with a no stress approach, which was, I'm not going to worry about this. Yeah. I'm going to sit and listen to the class, and then I was like, pay attention here, person, because this is an online class, so you can kind of get away with that without looking like a giant jerk, but you need to do your homework, because when you go to the in-person class, you can't.
There's no hiding under the desk.
You haven't done the homework.
You can't turn your camera off.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, good reminder.
Yeah.
In-person class is a little different.
Yes, it is good. Also, just to make sure we have what we need. I haven't really thought about that.
Like needles and doodads and
that they're not all being used on my 53,000 whips. Because did I start more things? I did start more things, of course. Did I finish anything? Not yet.
Yeah. And I'm about ready, I think, to start some other things. So, yeah.
I am pretty, Yeah.
But.
And also, I don't know, January's a reading month. A little more reading, a little less knitting. That's my escape mechanism kicking in January. But usually it takes a whole month for me to ease out of that, but I think it's only the third weekend. I think I'm pulling out already. Or second weekend, so that's even better. Right.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, should we get this?
We should, because you have a deadline. So
yes, I do have a deadline.
Yeah.